Hello, Professor. We choose the theory of Gestalt psychology. So this is our group members, and we divide it into four parts. First one is origins of Gestalt psychology, and second is the content. The third one is principle. The fourth is summary, and first one is about the origins. So the first one is contribution by Max Wertheimer. He laid the foundations of gestal psychology through his book, Experimental Studies on Motor Version. And second, it's about the theoretical development of Kurt Kafka. He applied Gestalt theory to the field of perception, proposing principles of perceptual organization such as proximity, similarity, and common destiny. And the third one is about Wolfgang Kohler's experimental research, but it focused on the animal. And next one is compared with structuralism. So first one is about the wholess principle of perception. Gestalt psychology emphasizes the wholeness of perception, which is in sharp contrast to the element analysis of structuralism. And second, the anti-elementalism, because Gestalt theory opposites the decomposition of complex psychological phenomenon into simple elements and maintains that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And third one is the dynamic of cognitive process. Gestalt psychology believes that cognitive processes are dynamic, while structuralism tends to be static, and it's about the core conception overview. So the first one is the principle of integrity. Gestalt psychology emphasizes that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, arguing that people tend to organize perceived elements into a meaningful whole. And next one is figure and background relationship. This theory holds that graphics and backgrounds are relative, and people distinguish between foreground objects and background environment in visual perception. And next one is the organizing principle of perception. Just so psychology put forward in a variety of perceptual organization principles, such as proximity, similarity, continuity, and closure to explain how people organize perceptual experience.
Hello, doctor. My part is the content of Gestalt psychology. This theory has five laws: proximity, similarity, closure, symmetry, and continuity. Let me explain them separately. Proximity: elements that are close to each other as a whole. In this picture, there are a lot of circles. Some of them are close to each other, so we can see there are three groups. Similarity: elements with similar characteristics are easily perceived as a whole. In this picture, there are a lot of circles and cube, but at first we can recognize them as the red color. So the red circle and the red cubes, we can make them as a group. Then the white closure. Human tends to see objects as complete objects rather than focusing on gaps or imperfections in objects. In this picture, we can see a football. Although there is no circle, but our brain can imagine a closure-shaped circle in it, so we can see a football. Symmetry. Perceive objects as symmetrical and formed around a central point. In this picture, kind of like X or gene X. Actually, it is not symmetrical, but to save the load of our brain, we simply recognize it as symmetrical. Continuity. Perceives lines and shapes as continuous rather than scattered. This picture, we can see a woman in it, although it is blocked by a lot of lines with some kind of shape, but our brain can feel the disappeared part, so we can see a woman. The impact in the design field. Actually, the 5 laws could be the tool in the design field. The wholeness could be the overall effect of elements in design rather than focusing on individual components. Proximity can enable users to intuitively understand the organizational structure and the hierarchy of information in the layout of elements. Similarity and symmetry can organize different visual elements such as color and shape, thereby enhancing user experience. Closure and continuity can guide users' visual flow, making the transmission of information smoother and more natural. That's all. Thank you, Doctor.
Hello everyone, hello doctor, this is my part. Principles of visual perception. Explanation of perception principles. The principle of wholeness. Physiological implies the principle of wholeness, the tendency of people to integrate perceived elements into meaningful world. In visual perception, the distinction between graphics and background is key to understanding the visual set. The principle of causal. The principle of causal suggests that people often fill in missing information during visual perception of form complete future. Incomplete script is perceived as a complete script. Okay. Practical example: recognition of feature and backgrounds. In visual perception, people can quickly distinguish a feature from background, such as when looking for a handy animal outline, the brain auto separates the feature. Okay. Visual completion. Such as when we see a objective, we can still recognize the wall picture. Projection of illusion. Optical illusion demonstrates the subjectivity of perception, such as the famous coffee cup and the face illusion. Yeah. First, recognition of feature and backgrounds. In visual perception, people distinguish a feature from a background by contrast and shape. 2. The principle of causal. The visual system tends to close incomplete shape. such as in the cause, impairment, where people see complete shape. Okay, 3. Similar perception. No, similar clinical. Similar elements are perceived as a group, such as prints that similar in color of shape are perceived as a such group, such as in the dot plot experiment. Okay, design application example. First is my favorite brand is Apple. I think Apple design production is so good, such as iPhone and iPad and AirPods. They are around design. Around is important of Apple. So Apple design use a lot of such as light and black or white color. Okay. 2. The distinction between filter and the background. Designs use the contrast between graphics and the background, such as Google to highlight layer and information. 3. The application of continuity perception in animation, such as design animals. Okay, my part is finished. Thank you.
The last part is summary of theoretical particle value. The first one is comprehensive evaluation of zero, the place of zero in modern physics. Gerster's zero, with its emphasis on homeless, had a profound impact on modern cognitive physics and perceptual studies. Contribution of zero to decision studies. Gerster's principles are widely used in the field of visual decision, such as the Gerster's principle governs the eventness of in-phase decision. Application of zero in education. Zeros from Gerster's physically are used in education to help understand how students perceive and process information as a whole. The second part is decision application summary. User experience decision. Gerster's physically principles are widely used in infants decision, advising and marketing. In advising decision, the principle of homeless creates sticky visual efforts and enhance the effectiveness and exactness of message conveyed. The last one is visual art creation. The second part is other area of impact. Art and decision. Gerster's zero has influenced model art and decision, emphasize and principle of homeless, such as the pursuit of balance and harmony in visual decision. Education. In the field education, Gerster's zero promote and hosted approaching to learning, emphasize hosting, understanding, and expensive in the learning process. The human-computer introduction. Gerster's physical principles are applied to HCI decision to enhance the evenness and ease of use of user interface. The last part is the future application outlook. The artificial in technology AI introduction, improving human-computer introduction using Gerster's zero to enable AI to better understand user intent and behavior part. Using experience decision, Gerster's physical principles can be applied to inference decision to enhance the user experience. The latter is introductional technology. Guster 0 is equipped in education software to help students improve students' learning through holistic perceptual learning. That's all. Thank you.